Hello, my name is Charles Johnson, and recently, our nursing informatics class, I went ahead and interviewed a mentor of mine, Dr.Maurice Abney. Has quite of extensive background, um, and one of the things that stood out to me is that he had a first life as a computer science person, doing computer science for companies like Hewlett Packard, and this is very important aspect of human informatics because it shows that he understands the basics and the background of what he's doing. And he said it's like building a house. Oftentimes, he can build the house and he can fill it and decorate it. So basically, the nursing informatics person, as he explains it, decorates that. So they get system without all the text and the patient information, and it's his job to show nursing staff and enter it to make it the usability for the clinicians and everyone in the hospital, make it available to everyone to get patient information, do certain tasks, because everyone in the hospital in some capacity is using something that's in the informatic spectrum. If it's as simply as scanning your medication, scanning equipment, you might have to scan some equipment, you might have to scan anything, and you might even have housekeepers that got to scan their way into certain areas so that they can clean, and and making sure that that they're the right person and no violations of HIPAA is violated. So one thing, he started as a HP systems engineer, went on, got his RN degree, master's advanced practice, and he somewhere along the line got it MBA. So it led the way for him to have a position at LifePoint Health, as a leader. So he talks about how people didn't even know what nursing informatics was, and I was shocked because as an LVN, I was like, told my teacher, they's like, what do you want to do? And I was like, well, I want to eventually get into nursing informatics. And I knew about this EPIC program where they train you in Wisconsin. He's been to Wisconsin to train. And I'm like, wow, you got to get sponsored, and it's so hard to get sponsored. And he's done all this stuff, plus the advanced practice side, the ICU side, and it's like it was a very busy person. There's a lot, I guess there's a lot of per diem jobs here for Dr. Abney. But I was very impressed, also being a minority, of Italian and African American descent. I say that because, he's a minority, and it's very impressive that he was able to get to that level, that echelon of practice. So when I looked at his background, I was really impressed with computer science, and almost to a point where I was like, why would you transition into the nursing? That's like, so, not to take anything away from it, but it's very, it made him very capable to do the job. He even went on to get his DNP in clinical decision support, which is what we do. We every day we embed the process into the EMR so that the clinicians and everybody can make decisions and carry out their care for the patient. And he was telling me about this, and that if it's wrong, we're going to probably end up with poor care. Now, he was over so many facilities, and LifePoint, I guess, has so much. So he dealt with so many electrical health records, even to a point where he dealt with point click care in the rehab, which a lot of times I deal with point click care. I deal with Meditech. I deal with HIMS. I have done what is it? This was a while ago. But Epic is really the big thing right now that we're moving into at most places. And we sat and we talked for a while about all his tasks in a day, and I was very interested to hear these meetings that he would have and about technical applications, and that of course, he had some financial decisions that he had to oversee. He had to make sure people were hired, the right people. Discipline was carried out when needed. Everything. So it's like, wow, like all this education, you know, and doing all these things. It was very, the conversation continued. If you look at his background, he has a psych NP, a DNP, a MBA, a MSN, and it's like, wow. And some of the education was paid for, he talks about. And I just was amazed by how many people don't know about this field right now. Going forward, and what for me the most important thing is knowing what the other person does, so you can have the proper respect. I think we're going over that as master's students. If you don't know what someone does, you're like, what are you doing? They just sitting around. I just see them walking around all the time, but I don't really know what they do. Do they even do anything? And we all have those thoughts in our head when we don't really know, and there's poor collaboration. There's poor knowledge of someone's position. We might think, this person doesn't do anything. He's just here. I see him sometimes, but I really don't know what he does. And what is a clinical informaticist? Not just them, but anyone. And one of the things is making people aware. And in your master's program, it gives you awareness of what the clinical informaticist does, or the nursing informatics person, what they do. So this enhances the workload of the clinician. So their job helps me do my job by looking. If I looked in my EMR and I log into it and I see there's nothing there, what am I gonna do? I can't even get meds. If the meds are wrong, I don't know. If I can't access it, something's not working. These are all the jobs and the activities of the nursing informaticist, to make sure that we have all the proper information to make proper clinical decisions. So oftentimes I wish I could just get sponsored. The thing about Epic, and I was telling him, they are like, there's no ad hoc. You can't just say, I want to be an Epic nurse or an Epic person and go over there and become certified and pay for yourself. You can't even pay yourself. You have to be sponsored by a hospital. Now they have a little bit more flexibility. I hear that if you get a hospital with an email, you can do some Epic certifications, and then that might put you in the front to be seen to move on. But we discuss, it's something that I always thought of myself doing. I moved into the psych NP role, wanting to do that now, but health informatics or nursing informatics was my first idea of myself, and seeing him being successful in it was very good for me, and hearing his struggles, and most of them were just people don't know what he does. People don't know. They don't begin it. People just want to know Epic, and have the information there. Our nurses, we just want the information there. We want it there when we go access it, but we don't know how it got there. We don't know who put it there or who wrote it or how it works, the usability of it, and that's really the role of the nursing informaticist. And I thank you for your time, and I really learned a lot talking to him, and knowing his background. I still feel like there might be some room for me in this role. Like, I would be very happy to have some sort of role in nursing informatics. All right. Thank you again. Bye bye.